Okay, so welcome everybody. Um, Welcome to the Spring Robotics Invitational. Today we are going to be celebrating our students who completed the challenges and the super quiz, and we have some fantastic prizes in store for you. We have some special friends and collaborators who we want to thank today, and that includes CTech, Los Angeles School of Creativity and Technology, who provided ways for students to participate in the challenges and have graciously provided the prizes for today. So thank you, C-Tech. Thank you, Margot, who's also here. And we want to thank the USC Viterbi School of Engineering, who provided our buddies, who were the engineering students who came through to our robotics classes and helped out our students, gave them tips on in the engineering part of the challenges, and also served as guest judges um, during our judging party yesterday. So we are very, very grateful to our friends and partners, CTech and USC Viterbi. Thank you so much.
Let's give them
So,
all a round of applause.
woo! Go CTech and USC. And, CTech does these types of events all year round. So stay tuned on our social media, SoLA Robotics and CTech, so that you can always know what challenges are coming up. They're usually free. And since most of our students have the robot at home, all you have to do is sign up and you're eligible for great prizes, and wait until you see what the kids came up with. It was a really great experience for them to be able to do this. So let's move on to the next part. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the challenges that the students had to complete. Oh, actually, before that, a little bit about SoLA Robotics. As most of you all know, we do coach robotics teams. You can see on the slide right here, this is from our showcase 2 weeks ago. We had a really great event in Los Angeles and some winners from that showcase as well. This is our competitive robotics teams. So if you're interested in that, know that we coach teams. And of course, we're here to celebrate our students who worked through our online classes, who all have their robot at home. So kudos to all of you. That's most of you here at our event today. Congratulations on persevering and making it through the class and through the challenges. So on to the challenges. For the Robotics Invitational today, students have to complete 3 challenges, and we have a little video right here to show you what they are. So the first one is the robot ramp. Students have to build a ramp and then program the robot to climb the ramp and drop an object into a receptacle. For the second challenge, students had to program the ramp to orbit an object 2 times and then drive away. And then the third challenge was the package delivery, where they deliver a package through a tunnel to the other side and then drive away. So there's the orbit challenge and the package delivery. In addition to the 3 challenges, the students also had to complete a super quiz worth 50 points. So that's what we're here today to celebrate. The super quiz, these are samples of some of the questions. These questions were taken from the lessons that students learned in our robotics classes. So they had to answer questions about the components of the robot, what they were, how they work, answer questions about the programming, the code. There were some sequencing questions in there and some definition questions. So it was, again, a really great experience. And it really helps us as the educators figure out how much the students know and maybe what are some things that we want to work on in the future. So the next part that was an optional entry for this contest is the robotics portfolio. And this was a 4-part entry. Part 1 was about describing, drawing, and sketching your experience with building the robot, because in case you don't know, all the students in this contest have a robot at home that they built themselves. They had to learn about all the parts, build the entire robot, and then learn to program that robot. So that's what this contest was all about. In part two, they answered some questions about coding, which is also part of our curriculum. In part three, they answered a question about robots. And in part four, they talked about their aspirations and what STEM career they could see themselves in. So that was the robotics portfolio. Okay. So those are the three components that the robotics challenges and the super quiz are how we determine the winners, and the robotics portfolio was a separate special prize. Okay. So let's see what the students came up with. Hi, Isabella. Welcome. Good morning.
All right, so here's the first challenge, which will be the package delivery, and how the points were scored for each student that submitted their own submission. This is how we judge it. So for one point, the students had to complete the task of completing the 12-inch tunnel run, avoid colliding with the tunnel. The robot has to successfully deliver the package. The robot drives away after the delivery. And also another thing was making sure that the remote was visible to make sure that there was no cheating, as well as submitting the code so that we can verify whether it was accurate or actually completed properly. And then we also have the 2-point category, which is for visual style and creativity, and engineering, originality, and innovation, which is super important because it separates you from the rest. So let's go ahead and watch some of these submissions.
So for the submissions, we're not showing every single one that we received. We are showing 7 samples just to give you an idea of what the students submitted. So here we go. They're very cool.
Any moment now.
Yeah, it might take a minute, but here it comes.
Actually, 1 minute. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
And those were all some really good submissions.
Yes, we definitely want to share some of the news from our guest judges. They really liked the overall theme of several of the submissions. Some of them had their own custom music, which was really cool. There was, let's see, I'm looking at my list here. There's a lot of things to choose from. We had the incorporation of the flashing lights and extra code to show the victory at the end of the tunnel. So that was pretty cool. And let's see, just there were 720-degree spin. Oh, the fact that some students pushed the ball into the cup. The judges noted that pushing the ball was more difficult than pushing like a stationary object.
Mhm.
So yeah, feedback from our judges. So just to give you an idea of the things that they were looking for, in addition to the code that was also submitted by each student. So there you have it for the tunnel challenge. Thank you for submitting. That was 7 examples taken from the entire group of entries. And now let's go ahead and move to the next challenge, which is the orbit.
All right, so on to the next one. So very much like the last challenge, how the point system works is very similar. So we get 1 point each for completing one full orbit, an extra point for completing the second orbit, making sure that your robot does not collide with the object, driving away after completing the orbit or orbits, making sure that the remote is visible, as well as submitting the code. And then for the 2 points, same thing, visual style and creativity. So just like how we saw in the last example or the last submissions, those arts and craft skills really do come in handy for this category, as well as the engineering originality and innovation. So for future reference, okay? But all the submissions were amazing.
Yes.
On to the next one. Sorry, don't want to skip over anybody's. Here we go.
I already saw some cool stuff.
Look at that robot go.
That was real time. Came pretty fast.
That looks like more than 2 orbits, in my opinion.
Top 5. Title 5. A lot of skills going into this. Very cool. This one had some very interesting code submitted to get that robot to perform that puzzle.
Oh my God, we got some special effects on this one.
That's put by the system there. As far as code, I see the artist here has decorated the centerpiece. So here we have a tower of code. So at the end, you see the close-up of what is actually on that tower. It's Python, which is part of programming software that we use. And this student decided to use that code to decorate centerpiece, which is slowly moving around. It is a larger orbit, which was also something noted by the judges as well. Here is the tower of code. Very cool. Have a very colorful submission created by colorful household objects. Very nice. Really tall tower too.
Those are all really good submissions. I love them all.
Absolutely. You guys did a really, really great job. I know I've talked to several students, including those of you who were at office hours earlier this week, and the challenges seem pretty simple until you actually have to build everything and then code the robot to do everything that you wanted to do. And it is more difficult when you're in that process, but we love it because what you all were going through is the engineering design process. So you learned that you have to modify your design. You have to go back and change something. You have to, run your test and make adjustments and things like that. So the learning experience is really what we're going for. And I think a lot of you definitely learned a lot by doing the challenges. So this last one is the ramp, which it was probably the most difficult one to build. And Ravi will now tell you about the points for the ramp.
So here we go. So each student received 1 point for making sure that the robot climbs the ramp, making sure that it stops at the top without falling, that it pushes the object over the edge, and making sure that object lands inside the receptacle, making sure that once again, the remote is visible and giving us your code just to make sure that you actually completed it. And then back to the 2-point category, which is visual style and creativity, as well as engineering originality and innovation. So again, you get points for just about doing everything, which is great because that really helps you at the end.
Yeah.
So on to the video. Let's
Here.
see, where is it? So we don't wait on the loading screen for too long.
All right. So we have the first attempt. I did. Right.
Frisbees. I haven't seen a frisbee in a long time.
I played too. And the robot goes back down, which is a great extra touch. Very nice.
We got some very sturdy USPS boxes
Yeah.
being used as props. I love it.
And back down. Very good. That one was really short. It was noted. Very nice. Lots of objects there to support the robot on its way up the ramp on this example.
We have another appearance from Baby Yoda.
With special effects. And a very tall ramp on this one. Awesome. Right in
Really cool, really good stuff from everyone.
there. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the example videos, and I definitely want to congratulate all of our contestants today. Is the next part the congratulations screen? Is okay, yeah. I couldn't remember. Okay, so I want to congratulate all the contestants today, and courtesy of CTech, all of our contestants will be receiving Amazon gift cards at the value of $20.
Ooh,
I
exciting.
know, right? I want to be a contestant. So coming soon to your email, the email that you signed up, your registration email, you will be receiving a $20 Amazon gift card just for entering and submitting your entries. So thank you all for being a part of our contest, but we're not done. Don't get me wrong. That's just for participation. So now we want to highlight our winners and tell you a little bit about.
Oops, sorry.
Tell you a little bit about their entries. So you can go ahead to the next part.
Let's hear the applause for all the contestants.
Excellent job, everybody. Really, really great job. It was, I gotta say, it was really fun judging all the videos too. You guys didn't get to see every single one, but we had all of our guest judges come together and discuss, you know, everything that we noticed, from the materials that were used to the code that was submitted, students using variables and things in their code. We were just really, really proud of what you all turned in for your entries. And this is the first time that we're doing this kind of contest. And we definitely want to run another one of these this summer. So if you found it fun and you're interested in doing this again, or encouraging your friends to be a part of it, then do consider that, because we will be working with CTech again this summer to run another Robotics Invitational. So with that, on to our first winner for today. This is an award for the student who scored a perfect score on the super quiz. The super quiz was comprised of 25 questions about robotics components, robotics capabilities, programming questions, sequencing questions, vocabulary questions, and anything that we learn in our robotics class, which is usually a 5 to 6 week class. And this student was able to answer every single question accurately, only being given 20 seconds to answer each question. So this is not a test where you get to sit there and think about your answer for a long time. They had to be really quick about it, right? So we have a winner for the super quiz, and that is, drum roll please. It'll come up on the video in a second. All right, that is Israel Omana.
Good job.
Israel, on your 100% super quiz. You can let it roll because it's gonna
It's gonna take a while. Yeah.
Congratulations, Israel, on the super quiz. So this next one is we have a student who has earned the prize for the robotics portfolio. And this student, I want to tell you a little bit about what they wrote about in the portfolio. This student says that building the robot was really fun. It's a nice feeling to create code and then make the robot to complete a task. The student said that they had to reset the code several times. Uh-oh. Did you pause it?
Yes.
Okay. Adjusting the power, and let's see, they had such great information in here about learning about variables like distance and time. And they really enjoyed learning about how these variables affected the robot's performance. And in the future, this student would see themselves as a software programmer because they love coding and doing things with computers. So without further ado, that student who turned in a very nice robotics portfolio is, drumroll, Alexander
Good job.
Molina. Awesome. Alexander turned in a very nice typed portfolio with lots of great information in there. Congratulations on a job well done, Alexander. And
Love
now,
to see it.
awesome. Now for our robotics and engineering award, we have split the awards into two categories, one for elementary and one for middle school. Our students ranged in age from 9 to 13. So that is the reason for the two different categories. So these next two awards are for elementary. So our second place winner received 29 out of 29 out of 30 points for the 29 out of 30 points for the challenges and 23 out of 25 questions correct on the super quiz. And just as you saw already, that student is two. Oh, now it wants to take a long time. Nicholas Hammery. Yay, Nicholas.
Congratulations, Nicholas.
For our second place winner, elementary. And for our first place winner for the elementary category, I'll let it go. Okay, you can pause it now. This student received 30 out of 30 points for the robotics challenges and 24 out of 25 questions correct on the super quiz. Our first place winner is, dun, da, 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 drum roll.
Coming. It's coming. There it is.
Alexander Molina. Congratulations, Alexander.
Congratulations.
A great job. Your submissions were totally impressive, and the judges were really, really happy, and they wanted to know how old you are. And they said, wow, a student at that age developed all these things and the code, and they were very impressed. So congratulations, Alexander. And now for our middle school category, we have one winner. Middle school was a smaller category, but older students, higher stakes, and tougher competition. So our first place winner for middle school is, let's see who earned the most points on everything. And that was
David.
David Rosas. Congratulations, David.
Congratulations.
Well done. Lots of great feedback on the engineering construction, especially for the ramp challenge, David. So that was super awesome. So all of our winners, everyone, yay! You're all going to be receiving trophies. These are going to be shipped to you. They will have your name on the trophy, and our winners are receiving a $50 Amazon gift card courtesy of C-Tech. So congratulations
Woo.
all of you. And we also want to thank our volunteers from USC Viterbi School of Engineering, who were also our buddies and our guest judges. And our volunteers are also receiving gift cards from Starbucks. So you guys can go grab your coffee and tea in between studying for your engineering degrees. So we are
Mhm.
very, very thankful to CTech and USC, and most of all to all of our students and their families for supporting them and being a part of the Spring Robotics Invitational. Thank you so much for joining us today. If there's any questions, you can drop them in the chat for now, and stay tuned to our social media because we are going to be running this program again. And if you know anyone who's interested in a robotics class, our next class starts on May 1st. That is a Saturday. All right. So thank you everybody for
Thank
joining.
you.
Keep a lookout for those emails for your prizes if you were a winner. And congratulations to Israel, Nicholas, Alexander, and David. Awesome job, everybody. Thank
Great
you.
job, everybody.